Show. This is the Big O 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 Show.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 18 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive the new Acura ADX. Only $289 a month during our 18th anniversary sale.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Come on in to Toyota of Hollywood, where curiosity and extraordinary deals await you. Your golden ticket buys a 2025 Corolla, not $26,000, $17,988. And we've got sweet deals with 0% financing for 72 months, 0 down. Enter our world of wonder, and we'll show you why we're the #1 volume Toyota dealer. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Hi, this is Jeff, formerly of Welton Rayon, PA, a longtime sponsor of the Big O Show. Now that Dan retired, I opened Welton Associates. I started this firm with a simple belief. When you hire a lawyer, you should be able to talk to your lawyer. For nearly 30 years, I have helped Floridians through serious legal problems. At my firm, you get direct access to me, clear communication, and a lawyer who knows the details of your case. I believe technology should make legal representation easier, not more impersonal. At Welton Associates, you get direct access to me, clear answers, personal attention, and real advocacy. Look us up at weltlawfirm.com or give me a call at 954-966-4646. Consultations are always free, and let me know that you found me at the Big O Show.
The Memorial Day event starts now at Florida's #1 volume Subaru store, Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy a new Subaru today with financing as low as 0% APR, or lease a new Crosstrek for just $158 a month. Shop SPPLove.com.
The viewpoints, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Welcome aboard. Time to have some fun. Howdy, howdy, howdy. It is a Friday, July 3rd, before our 250th tomorrow, 2026. We're not celebrating that it's day number 19,164 since the Dolphins have won a title. We are not celebrating the fact that it's day number 8,947 since the Canes were national champions. And we're not celebrating the fact that it's day number 4,760 since the Miami Heat were world champions. But we will celebrate the fact that all three were world champions at one point or another. That we must celebrate. Anyway, and we celebrate that it's Friday. The weekend is here. It's Friday, you bastards. Right. Let's rock. All right. We got some stuff to talk about today on Le Programme. Hope everything is well. Hope you all are doing well. Please smash the like button. Very important. You smash it. And the like button, too. You get the algorithms going out there, and we always appreciate that. Thank you all out there. Thank you. Buenas noches, Big OC. There you go. Buenas noches. It could be buenas noches for some people out there right now. You never know. Just never know where people are watching. You know what I'm saying? Could be on the other side of the world. Could be in an igloo. I don't know. It all depends. All right. Anyway, we got the weekend. We got a little World Cup action, obviously. We've got NFL stuff. Got funky NFL story we could talk about. There really isn't much going on in the NFL, but I saw this article that I thought, it will bring a smile to your face in a certain way, okay? It'll bring a smile to your face. Basketball talk, obviously. This is the second hottest part of the NBA season. It's the playoffs and the finals. It's the offseason, and then it's the regular season. Okay? That's kind of the way it goes. You realize that the NBA is the only sport in the league. I mean, the only sport out of all of them that their regular season is the worst part of their season. I'm just saying, you get more excitement from off-season market, the moves and the trades and the rumors and all that stuff going on and the drama and everything going on, from LeBron leaving LA, the whole thing now with Jaylen Brown, everything, the whole thing. The offseason is a soap opera, all kinds of stuff that it's kind of like an episode. It's like 90210 busting out in the summer, and becoming, a sensation, and then getting on to the fall schedule and becoming a normal show. Same thing here, except the NBA keeps it in the summer all the time, and then all of a sudden it's like, Basketball Wives or something, and then all the dirt comes out, who hates who, why they got traded, why they got cut, this guy's leaving, that guy hates that guy, this guy can't get along with that guy, that coach sucks. We find out about all the dirt. Everything gets dumped out into the offseason. It's beautiful. It's a telenovela. It's like Inter Miami. You know what I'm saying? Inter Miami is a telenovela. Same thing here. The NBA is the only sport where the regular season is the worst part of its existence. You can't say that about the NFL. Can't say that about hockey. They actually take the regular season serious. You can watch an October game, and it'll be as fierce as a February game. It's all the same. Or even a March game. All the same. Doesn't matter. They're pros. Yeah. Crazy, huh? Baseball also, regular season matters. It's not like, oh my God, the hot stove is like this thing that takes over. No, it's not. Not at all. Isn't it like weird how the NBA works? They have devalued their regular season so badly with load management, all this garbage that they've got going on in the NBA during the regular season. And now you get to a point where this is the only sport that the postseason's awesome and the finals and all that. And then obviously the offseason is fantastic for the NBA. It's weird. Just weird. So but it does go in order. If you look at it this way, you start with the playoffs, finals, then we go into the offseason, and then we go into the boring regular season. Well, if players if they actually cared about the regular season like they used to, and they actually played the regular season like they used to, well, for you young basketball fans out there, us older people, we saw the NBA when they actually gave a shit about the regular season. And that's where it's completely changed, unfortunately. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, you don't get to grow up with Michael Jordan playing 80, 81, 82 games. Your stars, they take nights off like they're going on vacation, hitting Panama, something like that. Go relax, some paradise or something like that. But it's weird how the NBA regular season is the worst part of the year. Anyway, so we got a lot of stuff to talk about in the NBA today also, because there's some stuff to talk about. There's also a very twisted story that just continues to we talked a little bit about it yesterday, taking all kinds of turns too. That stuff that none of us saw coming. And there's something that I cannot wait for in a twisted way. I can't wait for it because I want to see what's going to happen. You know what I mean? That's another thing that we got to talk about too on the show. So we got a bunch of things to talk about. How about this? Let's do this first and foremost. Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. The one and only Alan Blanco, 786-618-1443, custom printing and embroidery. Yesterday in World Cup action, my boys from Spain, they did not choke. They better not choke against Austria, but, I could tell you stories. Anyway, Spain did beat and dominated Austria 3-0. Portugal survives against Croatia. I call 2-1. And Switzerland beat Algeria 2-0. Today in World Cup action at 2 o'clock. It's Australia taking on Egypt. Egypt is the place to be. Australia is plus 260. Egypt is plus 140 on the money line at 6. Don't cry for me, Argentina. Minus 700 on the money line. Cape Verde or Cabo Verde, however you want to call it. They like Cabo Verde. I don't know if you guys pick up on it, but they like Cabo more than Cape. I get it. We're trying to make it like seem more stylish, but they like Cabo. So I'm going to go Cabo Verde. Anyway, they're plus 2,000. That's the bargain, right? Because they're gonna beat Argentina today. Cabo Verde is sending Messi home today, right? Plus 2,000. Take advantage. I'm not a betting expert. That was not advice. 9:30. Colombia. Yeah, baby. They'll be climbing through the air vents. Minus 250. Ghana. They are a big-time dog. They are plus 850, so nobody expecting Ghana to win this one. Colombia should advance. Should be fun. Will Shakira be there? If Shakira comes to all the matches, how could you root for Colombia to lose? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard not to want Shakira around. I'm just saying, that woman is sexy and a half. Not just sexy, she's sexy and a half. When you have that it plus like oodles more on top of the it, that's Shakira. No doubt. Monday, by the way, our boys will be in action at 8 o'clock. USA plus 170 taking on Belgium. Also plus 170, and that'll be in Seattle. By the way, the USA's victory over Bosnia was the most watched soccer telecast in USA history for USA teams, 24.4 million viewers. That is very cool. That is your 3A Graphics Sports Calendar. Right. What do we have here on the chat board? Don't forget, smash it. Jeff in Long Island out there says, hope everybody has a happy and safe 4th of July. 250, enjoy our great country. Let's all celebrate. It's about the American people. Yes, sir. Looking forward to having a good time tomorrow. I'm going to go see my guy Larry Schlossberg tonight. I'll be at the Funky Biscuit in Boca. I don't know if anybody's going tonight, but I'll be there to see the Doors alive and see a little Doors music and watch Larry jam and have some food too. Eat a little dinner there at the Funky Biscuit. Got a table for me and the wife, so we'll have some fun. If you are going to the Funky Biscuit tonight in Boca. First set is at 9, by the way. I think the second set's at like 10:30 or 11 or something like that. Come on by, say hi. Make sure you say hi over there at the Funky Biscuit. Let's see, Juan Rosa. Good morning to you, sir. NorCal is jumping in. You know NorCal is going to light a firework and then light a joint from the firework. Also, we've got Idleman checking in from Castle Rock, Washington. Cosa Nostra, he says, great show yesterday. Oh, that was a marathon. NorCal is proud of you. Only NorCal can really do the real marathons. Horn Dog in the house. And he says, by the way, happy semi-quincentennial United States of America. Only Steve Calabro. Brian Landis. Jaybird in the house. World Cup fever all-time high. More English-speaking viewers for the last match. Yes. And it'll get, we're winning. We look good. So they'll get on board and they'll watch. Now, it's not just the hardcore like you and me that always watch. We're getting all the fringe people and the people that even may not like soccer, but they'll, hey, I'll watch. It's the USA, things like that. We're going to get that. Jingoistic. Get jingoistic, baby. Big O, any 4 of the July traditions. I see Jaws every year. That's when the mayor closes the beach. Well, but this year it's different. He's closing the pool, not the beach. Yeah, that's the problem. This year, it's all right there in Washington, D.C. That's where it's at. The Loch Ness Monster has moved into the reflecting pool. I saw that the creature from the Black Lagoon is there. We got a lot of issues now. Yeah. So I got to tell you, and I would imagine Jaws is probably in there. All those kind of creatures, they're all right now in the reflecting pool. So this is a new Jaws that they're going to film live tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that. I've got my 5K TV ready to go. Just watch that baby. Man, that's what it's all about. So that's the new Jaws. And it's at another level now. For the new Jaws, who's the captain's dead, Roy Schneider's dead. Who do we hire? Who do we hire to go fight all the demons that are in the reflecting pool now? Amazing what a little bit of algae can create. Wow. To bring back the creature from the Black Lagoon, for the Loch Ness Monster to make its way to the reflecting pool, that's impressive. That's impressive. So I saw the mayor. He was in front of the reflecting pool, and he was talking about the reflecting pool is open and everybody's having a good time, but that's kind of irresponsible. At least that's what I saw. That's all I can tell you, Anthony. Let's see who else is out there. Brian Landis. Oh, I'm not sure if you heard Soundgarden's 4th of July song, but it's heavy, and it's been a staple of mine for 32 4ths in a row. Dude, I got to check it out after the show. Maybe I have. Why does that sound kind of familiar? Maybe I haven't heard it in like forever in a day. That sounds kind of. I got to listen to it now. Now you have my my interest peaked here. So I will definitely check that out when I get off and put it up on the new TV. Hockey players are actually meant to. Jeremy Roenick got his thumb and jaw broken, then played 3 minutes of a 5-minute penalty before leaving the game. NBA players get touched and act like they got shot. Yeah, no, there's no comparison to hockey and NBA players. Hockey players respect you. NBA players don't. Hockey players respect their teammates. NBA players don't. That's just the facts. NBA hockey players feel it's their responsibility to be on the ice for their teammates. It's their responsibility to play the hardest they can for their team and for their fans. They don't believe in taking games off or anything off. Hockey players want to play. And that's you respect that. And you respect that they play hard in October and they play hard in every other month. And when the season starts, people are going to go after our guys in a big time way. Yeah, man, there's no comparison. By the way, remember they've got their 4th of July sale going on at Caneswear. And remember, you can always use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off. But they've got sales going on. I don't think they give you the 10% on top of stuff that's like, already 25, 30, 40, 50% off and stuff like that. Clearance items and all that. They're not going to do that. But any other, regular price stuff, You can use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off. But they've got the July 4th sale going on. It starts today, and it's the largest sale of the summer for them. They got 25% off apparel, headwear, and footwear, all items. And they've got 50% off clearance items, too. Their store today, hours are 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., and tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. And make sure you mention the Big O when you go there, and you tell them, hey, Big O sent me here to Caneswear, so take advantage. And anything regular price, use our code BIG010 so you can get 10% off. Okay. We'll say hi to Brett and Jeff and Jack, just Ken Graff. Just great people out there, man. They're just golden. Absolutely golden. Let's see. True Fin fan. Let's go Ghana. Pat in Nashville. Oh, there's a ref out there with a red card that says Messi ain't going home today. LOL. Oh, man. Can't be shocked about that. That's for sure. Next Friday, we will be at Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. And make sure you tell them that Big O sent you out there. I'll see Larry Schlossberg today, the man that leads Acura Pembroke Pines, jamming on the guitar. And you can jam with an Integra 2026 model at $239 a month, 2.9% financing for 60 months. The ADX, $289 a month, 3.9% financing for 60 months. And tell them that Big O sent you. The MDX, ridiculous, $489 a month. And they will waive your first payment up to $1,000. Ridiculous. So get on down there and tell them that Big O sent you. And by the way, if you own an Acura, well, Mike Chan, Jordan Ferber, all these guys, they do great work there in the service department, and tell them that I sent you. They will take care of you. I promise you there. All right, what else do we have going on in the world of sports? DFD, celebrating my 12th anniversary this Sunday. Happy 12th anniversary, DFDZ. Nice job by you, sir. Congratulations. I think Blue Dodgers is smashing it in L.A. Jeff in Long Island. Jamie Zorea in San Jose. Ocala Joe, thank you. The U.S. is officially renaming it the Reflecting Cauldron. We can't even hire Chuck Norris to clean the pool. Why didn't you hire Mr. Clean? Don't you see the commercials? The bald guy is still out there cleaning stuff. I didn't know the floors were that color. Yeah, that's it. You hire Mr. Clean. It's really simple, dude. I don't understand that, Our country can't even hire a pool cleaner, bro. What do you expect? The good thing is he didn't declare that he would clean the pool on the first day that he got to the office because, that declaration hasn't gone very well for anything. Just saying. Just throwing out accuracy. Right there. That's all. It's just accurate stuff. That's all I'm doing. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. And, of course, you can send in your questions, comments, insults, all kinds of good stuff. We appreciate it immensely. Bitcoin is at 61,859. The Dow is up 594 points. It's about to hit 53,000. It's at 52,900. The S&P is barely up. And the NASDAQ is up 2 points. Up to 84.5. So there you go. Good news in the markets. All right. Big O, are you left-handed? Because when you're mad and you do scolding, yes, I am left-handed. Yes, I am. But I'm not really a lefty. I'm a weirdo. There's a difference. There are lefties, there are righties. You know, you guys are normal. I am not. I am, as young Frankenstein would say, abnormal. Okay? I right left. I bat right. I shoot left. I eat right. So there's no rhyme or reason to anything that I do at all. And I don't know how I learned that I did some things right-handed and I do some things left-handed. I cannot catch with my left hand. I have to catch with my right. I bat right. I don't bat left. When I played baseball, when I throw a football, I throw with my right. I'm not Tua or Esiason the bitch. So I'm a complete weirdo. And I'm not ambidextrous either. So I can't write with my right. I can only write with my left. I can't shoot with my right. I can only shoot with my left. That it's just kind of the way it goes. How it happened, I don't know if there's any other weirdos out there like me. I'm not saying if you're ambidextrous, you're not like me. If you're like me, it's because you do some things right and some things left. I've met one or two people over my lifetime that are like that too, that they just learn things in different ways and there's no rhyme or reason to how it ended up happening. And I cannot explain it whatsoever. I don't know why my brain does some things left and my brain does some things right. I'm sure there is some kind of scientific crap that's behind it, but I'm too stupid to know about that either way. But yeah, I'm a weirdo. Yeah. So I'm not really a lefty, and I'm not really kind of like my politics. Hey, yeah. I could hate Elizabeth Warren as much as I can hate Donald Trump. Yes, 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 exactly. That just like that, right in the middle, right in the middle. Yeah. Never thought about that. My entire life, I was a person that did things right and left. And now I realize, and I try to tell you guys, but the Trumpies, they're so sensitive little bitches. They think they only hear what they hear about them. They never hear me rip Biden and yelling and all these other idiots. They only hear them rip that side, But I didn't realize that. Wow. Well, I just learned something about myself. It's weird. That is weird. Anyway, Alan Caballero, even on your politics, you ain't right or left. Yeah, see? Yeah. I just realized that right now. I swear to God, I just realized that right now. Pat goes, funny, I write and eat left, but throw and bat right. I can't throw left, and I punt left. I punt right. It's weird, man. So you have some of the same issues I do then. So no wonder you and I get along so well. Yeah, just weird, dude. Weird. Yeah. Brian says, yeah, I'm weird like that too. I throw lefty, righty, bull righty. My dad was a lefty, so maybe my mom taught me how to write. Yeah, I don't remember how I learned everything, and I hate to say it, it wasn't really from my parents on a lot of things. It was either from my friends, school, or something like that. I can't say, my parents never sat with me one day to do homework. Never in my entire life. You know what I mean? So it was like a little different. So yeah, just kind of weird. A friend of mine, Jeffrey, is the one that taught me a bunch of things growing up, how to bat or whatever, or ride bike or something like that. Yeah, definitely. It's just, it's weird like that. Yeah. When you grow up with a broken home and then, your parents are kind of like
fighting all the time. Yeah, you're kind of like cast it aside, and so yeah, you kind of like got to fight for your own, you know. So you kind of, I guess that's what happened to me, that I ended up just learning as I grew up how to do things, and some of them I did right, and some of them I did left, you know. And I don't really have a recollection of how I learned every single thing one way or the other, to be quite honest. I don't remember how I started to write left or why, because neither one of my parents are left-handed. So it was weird, you know. Let's see, Jay Bird. I eat left-handed and write right-handed. Some things I'm better one or the other, and some I'm ambidextrous. Yeah, I don't have that skill at all. At all, Jay. I cannot do whatever I do one way, I do not do the other. I never even bothered to learn it. And it's not like I'm going to start now. So I just do it however I do it, and that's it. You know what I mean? I can't control it. I have no idea. Big O, right-handed people think with their left side of their brain. Left-handed people think with the right side of their brain. Therefore, the left-handers are the only ones in their right mind. Well, in my case, I'm definitely not in my right mind, no matter what. I'm sure I'm the oddball out of all of it. Jeremy says, Big O, just wait till life after Trump 2.0, and it ain't going to get any better, bro. It wasn't better before Trump with Biden. It wasn't better with Trump. It wasn't better before Trump. It wasn't, whatever, bro. I just see debt climbing and all kinds of crap. By the way, Welton Associates, proud sponsors of our program, where you will get direct attorney access. You will be dealing with Jeff Welt himself, folks. Clear communications and results, personal injury, property insurance claims, bankruptcy. You will not be a number, folks. Direct communication, convenient communication, and document signing. Personal attention from a firm that will treat you like a person, not a file. Make sure you give them a ring. The consultation's free. 954-966-4646. He's been at this for well over 20 years. And, man, knows how to get it done. Been a proud sponsor of our program now for 7 years. Been with us from day freaking one. So we appreciate the loyalty and the support. And we appreciate a lot of you that have called them in Central Florida, West Coast of Florida, here on the East Coast, up in the Gold Coast. We've had, listeners. In fact, we had a listener, and we thank you, from Jacksonville that called in. And here's another thing that Jeff does. There's a lot of things that they do there at the law office that they can help you. But if somehow you have something and you explain your case and he doesn't really specialize in that area, he'll lead you to somewhere where you can. And that's what he did for one of our listeners. He told me the story. He didn't give me the name or anything, but it was a listener in Jacksonville that called and called for his services. But unfortunately, he couldn't specifically help him in that. But dude, Jeff is such a decent human being. He helped him either way to get it resolved with someone else, and he doesn't benefit from it. He's just helping. That's it, because he's that kind of guy. So if you want real human beings that will be behind your case and they give a shit about you, please reach out to Welton Associates. 954-966-4646. And by the way, save it on the cell phone. Even if you don't need it right now, something happens, car accident, slip and fall, you have some damage because of some storm or something like that, that's when you need it, right there at that moment. 954-966-4646. All right? Thank you all out there. All right, let's see. What else do we have here? I'm amphibious. I can shoot with both hands. Now that is a skill set right there. Let's see. I'm talking about Bitcoin, says Jeremy. Oh, well, I I don't worry about Bitcoin for Trump. That I was actually laughing at the crypto idiots and the Bitcoin idiots that were, oh my God, we got to get Trump in because he's gonna. And it's like, bro, you don't see who that is. That person is not there for you ever. And as you can see, he's just been, grifting the entire time, making $2 billion and like 1.6 billion alone on just crypto and everything else. He made 635 million on just meme coins, the Trump and Melania coin. That he's a grifter. And what has happened? Nothing's gotten done. You know what I mean? And the Dems definitely are not going to do much, but they all will do something. And that's why I love the Dems and I love the reps. Why? Because they're both going to do what powers Bitcoin to kingdom come. They will continue to print, and I've explained it to you all 100 times. Since the beginning of the millennium, George Bush Jr. printed 6 trillion, a record 6 trillion. Then Obama printed a record 8 trillion, and both did it in 8 years. So let's give them half credit because the next two guys destroyed it. Then Trump prints 7.8 trillion, almost 8, in 4 years. And then Biden beats him and prints 8.4 trillion in 4 years. And now Trump, before anybody was elected, because I got to take credit for this, before anybody was elected, if those of you that are hardcore watchers, I predicted whoever won, red or blue, the next president would print $10 trillion. And man, am I like that? It's a 3-point shot from the logo, bitch. Okay. And the Trumper is right on target to print 10 trillion because every president will beat the next president because of the situation that we're in, because we're paying too much interest alone on our debt. And then everything that we pay for our military, and then on top of everything that we have for all the other expenses. And they're one's dressed in red, one's dressed in blue. They all do the same thing when it comes to our money. So that's what will empower this to kingdom come, because they bought back $2 billion of their debt 2 days ago when they have no money to buy back their debt. We're in debt. How do you buy back your debt? Oh, you print the $2 billion and give it to them. And what does that do? You now watered down our money 2 more billion today, and billions and billions and more all throughout the month. And he's printed well over $3 trillion already added to our debt. Yeah. So we're off and running, dude. He's over 11 trillion now in he's halfway through his 6th year. Yeah. Doesn't matter. They'll all do the same thing. I try to tell you guys this, but only the people that are stuck on each side, they get all, bothered by it, and they want to blame one or the other when they're all to blame. But it is what it is. What are you going to do? Good morning, Kevin Hawthorne out there in Lakeland, Florida, sir. Good to see you on the show. So what is the next stop for LeBron? And for the silly Heat fan that's out there, do you have a shot? Yeah, man. You got a shot at LeBron. But it's going to take 3 teams to screw it up now. Before, it was 2 teams. It was the Warriors, and Cleveland. Because I think he wants to play with Steph. I think he'd rather stay in the West Coast, stay closer to his family, because his family loves the Los Angeles area. So he can play with the Warriors, and he'll be at least on the West Coast in the same time zone and all that BS, and play with Steph that he has a lot of respect for. Or he goes back to Cleveland and he ends the whole story with, an opportunity to win a title because they were pretty good last year without him. And they have all the scoring, and it takes kind of the load off of them. So I would imagine that he would be somewhat happy there too, since he's talking about happiness. And then all of a sudden now, the Sixers, they go and make the trade for Jaylen Brown. And when you've got Edgecombe and you've got Maxey, and then Embiid is like an extra. Because if he plays 40, 50, 60 games, it's like a bonus. And if he's around for the playoffs, then fantastic. That's a pretty good. And then you go and sign late in the afternoon Anthony Simons to add another scorer off the bench. This takes a lot of the load off of LeBron. If he's playing with Cleveland, if he's playing with Philly, he's going on a team that can score a lot of points, and he can kind of do his thing, be a point guard. And there's no pressure on. He'll score when the game comes to him, but he doesn't have to score a ton because, oh my God, they're desperate for it. He can help out on defense. He can set things up. He can run the point, and he doesn't have to kill himself overall, going to the hole, taking all kinds of hits and all that. He can kind of take a step back. Here in Miami, there would be a heavy workload on him because on the outside, you're going to need somebody to run and score because they're going to like scoring. And you cannot play bully ball all the time. Plus, the math doesn't jive either. Can't keep having a bunch of two-pointers in a three-point league. And LeBron's a two-pointer, and Bam's a two-pointer, and Giannis is a two-pointer. Miami is the worst situation out of all four for him to go to. Sorry. Even though at Golden State, they're not going to win anything, but I get it. He gets to play with Steph and all that BS and whatever. Okay. If he wants to play with Steph and he's friends with him, and if that's his choice, that's fine. But what I would tell you, Heat fans, do you have a chance? Sure. That's if 3 teams screw it up. Then I think he'll come here. But overall, this is not a sexy situation whatsoever for LeBron. This is not a good team that they've put together. No matter how much you want to lie to yourself, or I don't know who you're reading, listening, or watching that might be telling you that all of a sudden this is a really good situation. No, you're just better than you were last year. That doesn't make it a good situation. It just makes you that you're going to be somewhat more relevant because you've got Giannis. And people will want to see Giannis. But this overall team this is a hodgepodge that you put together, dude. This is not an impressive team to put together. This is desperation 2.0 here. Desperation 1.0 must have been the re-signing the Scrubberinis to long-term deals. That was, wow. That was some desperate shit there, thinking that was going to actually turn into something. But I would tell you that the LeBron James chances for Miami, I think, are slim to none, and none has pretty much walked out the door. Because I don't know how those other 3 situations get screwed up in the entire deal. They're better overall. And the only reason I put Golden State better than Miami, even though they're old and they're not going to win anything, it's because if he wants happiness, well, he gets to play with Steph, to say that he played with Steph for a year. And if it goes well, they get to a second round or whatever, they'll celebrate that, and then he's close to his family. If he's all the way out here and he's not really, Philly just screwed you because they're going to be better. With or without LeBron with the Heat, you're not going to be better than Philadelphia. I don't care what anybody tells you. You're not going to be better than the Knicks. Even Boston might still be better than you. And Indiana will get Tyrese Halliburton back. Toronto now has Kawhi Leonard. I mean, this is not going to be an easy situation for Miami. It's not a gift for them. And I'm sure LeBron sees it. He can do the math. The Heat team is poorly constructed. If he really wants to have basketball happiness, you pick Philadelphia. That's the best team that's available to him right now. Second best would be Cleveland. If we're being honest, And then the Warriors are the third best. Miami is fourth. That's the reality, and I'm really, really sorry about that. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. You can send in your questions, comments, insults. Jeremy says, Big O, I say Golden State. Yeah, I can see Golden State being number one. I would pick Philadelphia if I'm him. Philadelphia is the best place to go. Now with that team, he's 40 years old. He's in his 37th season. Why put a whole bunch of, burden on you? Look at all the weapons that Philadelphia now has. And all you have to do is facilitate and play some defense. You don't have to kill yourself. And the conference is not tougher than the Western Conference. Dude, come on. If I'm him, I go to Philadelphia, man. All right, that's where I would go. Being objective. That's all I'm saying. Coming here, hey, at least it'll be fun. Watching Giannis and LeBron, that'll be fun. I don't think they'll win, but it'll be fun at least. At least we're going to have more fun now with Giannis here. But again, do I think they're going to really win anything? No, dude. They don't have the team to win. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not, I don't do the rage stuff, my brother. I just call it like I see it. Maybe you're new to this show or something, but I don't do anything for rage or anything like that. I just use common sense. That's all I do. And that's why it usually turns out all right. If you look at the batting average, we'll swing and miss a couple times, but we're normally hitting. That's for sure. All right. Bitcoin flirting around with 62. What are we doing here? What's going on? Yep, we're at 62,071. All right. I like that. I can take it. Not a bad move. All right, what else we want to talk about here on the program? Yesterday, we shared the Matt Miller story. And Matt is the guy that took over as an NFL draft analyst for Todd McShay. It's interesting or weird, not interesting, but a weird, what would I call it? A weird, damn it, I'm brain farting now. Coincidence. It's a weird coincidence for ESPN in this situation with Matt Miller. Why do I say that? Because he replaced Todd McShay. And when Todd McShay got replaced, he got sick and disappeared for a while. And then now, he was able to recover, and now he's back, and it's like he lost his job. And, now he's, doing his own thing, and hopefully everything, continues to go well. He's a good dude. Now, Matt ends up taking over for him, and he ends up suffering from an accident that he collides with a truck where he loses his arm, and he has to have reconstructive surgery in that arm in order for him to see if he can use a prosthetic. So prayers to him. Hopefully that surgery goes well and he's able to do that. I'm compartmentalizing things because, like, this is some vicious stuff that happened to him that, God, yeah, I don't want it to happen to anybody. You know what I mean? Have an accident with a truck and you lose your arm and all that kind of stuff. But then this story has taken like a terrible twist because all of a sudden it's been exposed that Matt Miller is not a good dude behind the scenes. And apparently has either been stealing money from people allegedly, has been stifling charities allegedly, and they even started a GoFundMe page, and that now has been frozen. So I don't know how this whole thing's going to turn out because a lot of people are coming forward about getting screwed on his leagues, and I'm going to read it for you now. But not only is this man going to lose his arm, he's going to lose his job. Because if the behavior is true, like, holy shit. I had Matt when he was on in Bleacher Report, I think it was, where he was before he went to ESPN. I remember bringing him on my show a couple times. Always kind enough to come on and all that. But again, I don't know him personally. But wow, this is it's a terrible story in every way possible. It's terrible personally for him because this is going to obviously alter his entire life. Okay. But then on top of all of that, the accident ends up exposing what could be a crime, right? I mean, so ESPN draft analyst Matt Miller was involved in a near fatal car accident on June 17th. He was airlifted to Mercy Hospital in Joplin, Missouri, and underwent life-saving amputation of his left arm, along with surgeries for a compound femur fracture, a shattered kneecap, and multiple broken ribs. His family launched a GoFundMe on June 25th to cover medical and rehabilitation costs, but it quickly drew scrutiny after a Reddit thread resurfaced documenting a pattern of complaints from participants in Miller's fantasy football leagues. This is crazy, dude. People claim Miller was unreachable when it came time to collect winnings or to confirm where the charitable portion was sent. Now, the Missouri Attorney General's office has confirmed to Awful Announcing that it has opened an investigation into Miller. Awful Announcing's Ben Koo and Brendan Clean spoke to at least 7 people who described their similar experiences with Miller's fantasy football leagues, and the outlets had since heard from more than 40 additional individuals who have provided supporting evidence. Awful Announcing's Sam Newman, in an article today, wrote that the Missouri Attorney General's office has opened an investigation into ESPN NFL draft analyst Matt Miller, confirming to Awful Announcing in a statement that it has opened an investigation into the issue. The fantasy platform Sleeper confirmed that the accounts linked to Miller served as commissioner for 91 leagues in the 2025 season alone before the platform permanently removed him. Miller mentioned that his 417 Foundation, established in 2013, was inspired by his mother's work with low-income preschoolers in Joplin, and that it handled all the charities he had promised. However, according to Awful Announcing, public and corporation records instead show the foundation wasn't formally established in Missouri until December of 2018, not 13. And it received a cease and desist notice about a year later. Furthermore, the foundation hasn't filed a Form 990 in its website and is inactive. And its social media stopped posting in 2021, though Miller was still promoting 417 Foundation fantasy leagues as of May 2022. There are also accusations that Miller ghosted some of his followers who paid for scouting lessons back in the day. The news of the investigation being launched against Miller stunned the NFL world. In a crazy series of events. Bree Aree, a freelance reporter, said, "Great work on this absolutely vile behavior. I've gotten suspended once for saying what should be done to Matt Miller. I'll stop there. Cold place in hell for guys who scam charities." So, and then it just has all kinds of stuff here. Koo also revealed that the Missouri AG's office says complaints can be filed online by the phone through the Consumer Protection Team, just in case any of you were in that league, 800-392-8222, and that they can share their and documents and proof and send messages of proof for PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo transactions. What complicates the situation further is the timing of Miller's repayment activity. According to Awful Announcing reporting, evidence shows Miller began settling overdue balances in the days immediately following the GoFundMe launch. Several complaints told Koo and Clean that Miller had gone silent on them for months and only responded after they escalated their grievances directly to ESPN. So far, ESPN has not commented on any aspect of the situation, despite multiple requests. Matt Miller, I mean, from the information that you read there, it's fraud. It's what it looks like. Until proven otherwise, this guy was committing all kinds of fraud. And it took a tragic accident to expose that. This man is going to get fired. There's no way ESPN keeps somebody that's embezzling. No shot. Especially you're in football, which they may want you to, sponsor things like that. And now there's no way you can have his face sponsor anything because he cannot be trusted. Like in a moment where you're supposed to have a ton of sympathy for the guy because, Jesus, that is a horrible accident. You're going to get the absolute opposite, and people are going to say karma's a bitch. That's what's going to come from all of this. People are going to say karma's a bitch. You were screwing charities over. You were lying to people. You were lying about giving scholarships to kids. And that's what people are going to say. That's what's going to end up coming from this whole Matt Miller story. Wow. I don't get it. By the way, Sloman's Home Shield, make sure you reach out to our friends at 1-800-ALARM-ME and tell them that Big O sent you. They will take care of you. We're in 49 of 50 states. All right? So we're only missing one state. So any of you listeners out there, 1-800-ALARM-ME is the easy way, and mention our name. Mention the Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. And you can use the QR codes there also. And we always appreciate that. Bitcoin pumping a little bit right now, up to 62,130 now, as it continues its rise. Kind of interesting. Let's see. What else can we talk about going on in sports? If I tell you that Matt Miller's behavior is pretty disgusting, you would say yes, correct? I think you would say that. Well, I think there's 3 NFL teams also committing some disgusting behavior. The question for me, or the want to know, who is it? Who are these 3 vile teams? Who are these 3 teams that are actually doing this? And what I'm talking about is new court documents suggest that Terrion Arnold, the Lions cornerback that got cut, arrested, charged with having thugs, sending some thugs to pretty much rob people and assault them and all that. And he was on the video guiding the whole thing. That guy, It's kind of like acting like a mobster. Well, his NFL career may not be on hold after all. In new court documents, his attorney, Harry Steinberg, claims that 3 NFL teams have reached out to inquire about Arnold's services after the cornerback was released from the Detroit Lions. Steinberg further said that Arnold expects to sign with a new team within the next month. He is confined to his home by both court conditions and media scrutiny and anticipates that he will have employment with another NFL team within 30 days. Although Mr. Arnold has been released by the Detroit Lions, the organization, he already had been contacted by 3 NFL clubs regarding his services. Dolphins need corners, but I don't believe it's the Dolphins. You're talking about culture and all that kind of crap, and you're gonna bring that dude here. So I just don't think it's the Dolphins. I don't know who it is. I really don't. If Belichick was still around, I would think it would be the Patriots, but I don't know now. What's your guesses out there? Who are the 3 teams? Cowboys? Because I could see the Cowboys doing it. Jerry would be one. Who's the other? Who are the 3 teams that would be scumbaggery enough? Because that's what it is. It's all scumbaggery. It's like, remember, well, some of you were guilty of it, which you should be embarrassed. Seriously. But it was like when Deshaun Watson became available, we had Dolphin fans that wanted Deshaun Watson. I never wanted Deshaun Watson. That was just my stance on it. But there were Dolphin fans that were willing to go to Deshaun Watson. Outside of the Raiders, I don't know who. I don't know who I say, kind of fits it. Raiders, no. I don't think so, dude. I don't think so. After the problems that they have, and one of their was it a receiver, right? Or the kid that crashed into that woman and lit her and her dog on fire and killed them alive. I don't, after what the Raiders have kind of gone through lately, I don't think that they do it either. But normally the Raiders would be one. But I think because of recent stuff that's happened to them, I don't know why you would want to bring a guy like that into your locker room. Now, there's a part of me that thinks that the lawyer's a liar. That's another thing. Sorry, Harvey, but I'm going to have to call you Harvey Steinberg. I'm going to have to say you're a bullshitter. Maybe there's one team, Cowboys, but I just don't see a lot of teams that would want to take a chance on this guy right now. Knowing the information you know right now and what's happening, why would you try to bring that into your locker room? I can only see Jerry as the one idiot that he's just oblivious to a lot of this stuff. Doesn't care or whatever. Cowboys, yeah. You guys got Jets. Seattle, no. Seattle, definitely not. They've got too much of a good thing going. Raiders, we talked about that. Browns, God. I mean, after everything with Watson, they would be stupid enough, that's for sure. Cardinals is a team that would be, they're kind of dense. That might be one that would do it. I like that one. Cardinals and the Cowboys. Those are two that I kind of like overall. Yeah. The Long Island Bills. No, it's Jeff from Long Island, but he says the Bills. It's definitely not the Giants. Definitely not the Giants. No, I don't think so. By the way, our friends there at Toyota of Hollywood, and of course, they got 2,000 cars in stock, over 1,200 new vehicles. And if you're looking to get away from the gas pump, the BZ, yeah, that's their battery EV. They've got the BZ XLE, two of them. The BZ has a 314-mile range. It has 221 horsepower, front-wheel drive. The BZ XLE, this badass, has 288-mile range, little less. That's because you have 335 horsepower and all-wheel drive. So it all depends if you want to get 2 wheels or you want to get 4 wheels, depending on where you live in the country. Go check it out at Toyota of Hollywood. Go see my guy, Herbie Lopez. And, of course, they've got the hybrids, the Corolla hybrid, the Corolla Cross hybrid, the Prius plug-in hybrid, the CHR. They've got the RAV4 plug-in hybrid. So you've got your electric vehicles. You have got also your hybrid vehicles. Take advantage, folks. You're looking for a Tundra. You're looking for a Prius. You're looking for a Supra. You're looking for a Corolla, a Camry, a wide selection. That's where you go. You go to Toyota of Hollywood, and they've got them all under roof. You see the heat that's out there? Get away from the heat. It's under roof. If it's raining, because South Florida afternoon showers, under roof. You can shop in comfort all the time, and they're open till midnight. That is key. That way you don't have to, oh, man, I got to take off work because I got to go buy a car. So I got to lose money to then spend money. No. Herbie gets that. That's why they've got the dealership open till midnight. So when you're off at 5, go. If you work in the evenings, you can go during the day if you want. Does not matter, but they're there for you till midnight. 1841 North State Road 7. They're right on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. Go see Herbie Lopez and tell him that Big O sent you at Toyota of Hollywood. All right. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Let me ask you something, because this is kind of, maybe this guy is difficult. Maybe he's not. Maybe he is a man that stands on his own beliefs. Who knows? But this whole Jaylen Brown thing, Colin Cowherd threw this out there. He threw it out there from sources. He says, I had 2 NBA sources, 2 people in the league, 1 executive, 1 a scout, say that Jaylen Brown it's a disease. He suddenly thinks he's the smartest guy in the room he's in. You make a lot of money. Suddenly you're absolutely sure you don't want to listen to your bosses. You don't want to listen to consultants, and you don't want to listen to teammates. Well, okay, so let's go over this. Why should you listen to Brad Stevens? Did you watch his decision? How he ended up trading Brown? Does that look like somebody that's logical? And I thought it was Danny Ainge that built the team that won the championship, not Brad Stevens. And Danny Ainge went to Utah now, right? And he's kind of helping them now. I see. Okay, so maybe he is more intelligent than them. I don't know. I think we're hearing now that they think Peyton Pritchard can be Jaylen Brown. So we're going to question Jaylen Brown's intelligence. Okay. Jaylen Brown, was he weird because he said that this past year was his favorite year, even over because everybody, oh my God, the championship year has to be your favorite year. It can't be this year because you were the number 1 guy. Well, maybe it was refreshing for him in that weird way that he was liberated. He was the number 1 guy. Maybe he likes that. That's ego, not intelligence. That's ego. And I don't know, but but last time I checked, wait a minute, didn't Philadelphia eliminate the Celtics in the play? Let me look it up here in the playoffs. Let me look scoreboard NBA here. Let me see if I can go back a couple of months. I'm sure I should be able to. All right. There we go. You end up getting tagged for shit like that. Okay, so let me see. I think I want to say that the Sixers eliminated the Celtics. I'm not sure. Let me see. I'm trying to go through the scores here. Yeah, Celtics, Sixers. Here it is. Here it is. Wait a minute. There we go. Celtics, Sixers. How did that one end? I got it there at 1-1, 2-1. 3-2 lead for Boston. Then it was 3-3 tie on that Thursday. Then what they play that Saturday. And Philly won on May 2nd, Saturday, May 2nd. Philadelphia beat the Sixers 109-100. Okay. I know Jalen wasn't 100% back at that moment, but you had him at least back. And in that game, let me see, what did Jalen Brown score? I think he scored like a bunch of points. I'm sorry, Jason Tatum. He wasn't himself at that moment, right? Was he playing? Tatum? No, he wasn't playing in that game. So Tatum wasn't himself. He was obviously out most of the year. You had Brown kicking ass. They lose, and now you traded Brown to the team that eliminated you. Where's intelligence? You traded a star to a team in your conference. How does that make any sense? I'm just wondering. That to me is just kind of weird, right? Same team in your same conference, and you just say, yeah, we're going to give up on you. We're going to give you to the team that eliminated us, and we're going to empower them even more. I gotta think that Jalen Brown is the smarter guy in the room than the Celtics, because he ends up in a better situation. The team turned down Giannis, and they end up telling you that Peyton Pritchard is going to be as good as Jalen Brown. I'm sorry, but all the stupid shit is coming out of Boston, not out of Jalen Brown. Jalen Brown said some ridiculous stuff at the end of the year. I get it. Maybe he's quirky, but I would think he is intelligent. He got his way out. He got a championship, and he put himself in a better position now. And by the way, aren't they in the same division too? Not just the same conference? Just kind of weird. Where's the lack of intelligence is in Boston, not Jalen Brown. All the evidence tells me that the people in Boston are really stupid. They're the ones that killed the value of Jalen Brown. They put themselves in a position that they had to unload him after making the grave mistake. I'm sorry, but if I look at this whole situation, It's the Celtics that have made all the mistakes. It's the Celtics and Brad Stevens that are the ones that look like absolute morons here. Jaylen Brown goes to a better situation with the team that eliminated Boston. They add Anthony Simons, and now they're in play for LeBron. I don't know, but Boston, you did about the dumbest thing you could do in the conference. You empowered the shit out of the Sixers. You cut the gap between the Knicks and the conference because now the Sixers can legitimately challenge the Knicks. And Boston, you're not in the mix at all. Unless you think Peyton Pritchard, of course, is the next Jalen Brunson. A tiny tot with power. Okay. If that's what you want to sell me, go ahead. But you got to be pretty stupid to believe any of the bullshit that's going on from Boston right now. And if you're a Celtic fan, you have even Bill Simmons was being honest. I saw a clip where he says I think he had a colonoscopy and he woke up and they told him about the trade. And he goes, wait a minute, I'm dead, right? I just died on the operating table or something. At least he was honest about it. Because the stupidity is coming from the Boston Celtics, not from Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown looks like a genius. Maybe he's difficult to get along with. Maybe he's an oddball. But stupid he isn't. He doesn't have one iota of stupidness in him. He looks like the only intelligent one out of that entire organization. That's the way I'm going to view this whole thing because I only see stupid moves out of one person and one organization. To say that this man has, that's the other thing, cultured a disease. So what if he is smart? So you don't like it that players are smart? They can't be smart? I don't understand that. Because we've had lots of players that were smart. In the entire history of the game, there's a lot of guys that were smart. So is there a problem with somebody? Maybe he is smart. And he's smart enough to get out of, he found a way to get out of that situation. It's kind of the way I look at it. So kudos to Jaylen Brown in all of this, because I think he's the one that actually showed some intelligence here. Speaking of intelligence, I got to give the San Antonio Spurs a lot of love, dude. I got to give them mad props. They made a move that was absolutely huge yesterday. I think most of us looked at Mitch Johnson in the finals and said, young coach, young team in the Spurs. They weren't ready for this moment. They were the better team. No doubt in my mind that they were the better team over the Knicks. But they weren't the more experienced team, and they weren't prepared for this moment. And that happens a lot in sports. Sometimes you're young and you're not ready, and you're the Oklahoma Thunder and you run into the Miami Heat and you just are too green at that moment. It's not that you weren't gifted, because you had four players that would prove to be, outside of Harden, but at least Harden could score. But you had four players that were pretty special overall at that time. And, it is what it is. You weren't ready for the moment. So you look at what's going on in San Antonio. They went and hired Billy Donovan to be the bench coach for Mitch Johnson. I think that's a genius freaking move, dude. Now Mitch Johnson has a guy next to him that's got awesome experience. He's a damn good coach, dude. The Bulls are a mess. He did the best he could to keep them above water and even sometimes make the playoffs or play in or whatever with that deadbeat team and deadbeat organization that it is nowadays. He's a good coach. I think Billy Donovan's a good coach, and he's got great experience overall. This is what Mitch Johnson needs next to him. All the key moments and all that kind of stuff. Now Mitch has a guy that he can really use as a soundboard. Great leadership, all that kind of stuff. I don't know if this was Popovich influenced or not, but it just seems like the Jedi Master kind of said, hey, we need to go get a guy and put him next to Mitch. It's nothing against Mitch. He's got all the potential, but he needs an experienced person next to him. Boom, and all that. And second part of this, the cynical one in me has got to do this too. If Mitch Johnson suffers any kind of setbacks, loses the team, you don't think he's doing the job, you got his replacement. That's the other thing. Now, don't look at it that way, that it's an ulterior motive, that there's a hidden agenda or an obvious agenda, however you want to look at it. I don't think that's the case. Okay, Billy Donovan III, Billy Donovan's son, worked with Mitch. They both worked together. They were on the same coaching staff on the Spurs minor league team. They're whatever, G League, D League, all that. Years ago, it was like 2017. They know each other. There's a history there. Mitch knows Billy Donovan overall. There's a comfort zone here too for Mitch. It's somebody he can trust that is not coming in with the idea of just taking his job, and that he was brought in by the people above to take his job. So before you jump to that conclusion, that's not really the case. There's a relationship here too. There's a comfort zone. There's a trust. And that's something that Mitch can have throughout the year, that he can confide in a guy that's not trying to screw him over. In every way possible, this is why the Spurs organization is overall the best organization in basketball. Are they not? I mean, you're back. You got back to the finals, and you got a team that should be able to get back there again, and you continue to make the right decisions. And you've come up with, I guess, a young coach that's got, some growing to do still, but looks like there's something there. And then obviously your front office is still supremely gifted. You have produced a hell of a team. Spurs are the best organization in basketball. And these are the kind of moves that prove why you are the best organization in basketball. Mad props to them on that. And when you see all the intricacies of all of this, it's effing impressive. It just is. You know what's also impressive? Our friends at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, where you can also get $500 off if you mention my name. Tell them, hey, Big O sent me, I get $500 off, and they're going to say, yeah, you do get $500 off. Get on down to 16100 Pines Boulevard. Go see Eric Stampone. He's always walking around there. Alan is the GM. Great dude. You're going to love. He's a big Dolphins fan. Okay. Eric, you got to talk Panthers with him. Alan, you talk Dolphins with him. That's kind of the way it goes. And of course, the financing right now, give me a break. The Subaru Forester, $228 a month, 1.99% financing. The Subaru Ascent Premium, $258 a month, 1.9% financing. The Outback Premium, $278 a month, 0.9% financing. The Crosstrek, you got a youngin' out there that's starting to drive. Come on, man. This is a super safe SUV. When it comes to safety ratings, reliability, all of that, Subaru's at the top of the list out there. $158 a month and 1.9% financing. Super affordable, so your kid can drive to high school, college, junior college, or whatever. Or maybe it's a graduation gift from college. How about that? A Subaru Crosstrek. $158 a month, 1.9% financing, plus $500 off when you mention my name. Get on down there, 16100 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines, a couple of miles west. And if you're looking to ditch the gas pump, the Uncharted is there, the Trail Seeker and the Solterra, 3 electric vehicles. And by the way, when it comes to the Subaru battery, this is what you're going to love. It goes from 10% to 80% in just 28 minutes. You'll love it. Subaru of Pembroke Pines. All right, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. You can send in your questions, comments, insults. We always appreciate it. The great Brian Radke. Thank you, sir, for the love and the generosity on Cash App. Appreciate you. He says, happy Friday. Have a fabulous 4th of July weekend. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you immensely. Appreciate it. Thank you for supporting us every way possible, tuning in and even donating. Thank you. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo will read your questions, comments, and insults. LeBron is not going to play with Brown, not after he talked smack about Bronny. They'll get over that. If he wants to really play and win, he'll go there. That's where he'll go. Alan Caballero, I don't know how smart or not Brown may be, but it's definitely not smart to trade that kind of talent to a team in your conference and in your division. I can't wait to see them play each other on the upcoming season. Amen. Jaylen Brown is the only smart guy here, dude. Everything about the Celtics and Brad Stevens is just flat out stupid. There's nothing intelligent about what went on there at all. Sorry. Can't do that. Can't go for that one. You know what? Let me clear the throat.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
We are back. Thank you all out there, as always, for keeping it locked here on Le Programme. All right. Let's see if there's anything else out there. Rajko Gudas today in his press conference wearing a T-shirt that says, "Nobody likes us. We don't care." That is awesome. So happy to have him back. I tell you what I can't wait for. There is something that I am looking forward to in a twisted way because I'm dying to see how the story ends. It was an ugly story. It was one where none of us really know what is going on in this man's mind and what led him down this path. And I'm talking about Mark Sanchez. And I saw here on Pro Football Talk that the criminal battery trial against the former NFL quarterback and Fox analyst has already been delayed 4 times. And it's easy to assume that the current trial date will change too, but the current trial date is only 10 days away. More importantly, the date for the final pre-trial conference, July 8th, is only 5 days away. And if the final pretrial conference happens, that usually means that the trial is happening unless there's a plea deal. And a plea deal seems very possible. Sanchez should want one. Even if he testifies, what can he say? He told investigators at the time of his back alley fight with a 69-year-old truck driver that he didn't remember anything. If he gets on the stand and spins a yarn that he was just out for a walk and suddenly got stabbed multiple times, nobody's going to believe it. Besides, the prosecution has identified more than 50 pieces of video evidence from surveillance cameras that tracked the action from the evening in early October as Sanchez strolled through the streets of Indianapolis, apparently after leaving St. Elmo's. And the video helped authorities determine that the version provided by Perry Toll, who explained that he stabbed Sanchez in self-defense, was accurate. It's why Sanchez was charged with multiple crimes, and while Toll was charged with none. The biggest impediment to a plea deal could be that the prosecution isn't offering much of a break to Sanchez. Why would they? Prosecutors press forward with cases they believe they can prove beyond a reasonable doubt. By the way, he attacked a 69-year-old man. Don't let up on this son of a bitch. Sure, sometimes they get it wrong, but in this case, seems to be pretty clear based on the widely reported facts that Sanchez has never tried to dispute. Sanchez, possibly while under the influence of alcohol or something more potent, apparently initiated an argument with Toll. It escalated eventually into a fight, and the 69-year-old Toll was no match for the 38-year-old former athlete, who was roughly the same height and weight as the slightly embellished measurements of the commander-in-chief. If the prosecution is insisting on real jail time, why wouldn't Sanchez roll the dice on getting a favorable jury? That's one of the basic realities of any trial, criminal or civil. Two different juries could reach two different verdicts in the same case with the same evidence and arguments. It makes sense for prosecutors to drive a hard bargain. One, they have the facts on their side. Two, why wouldn't they? The chief law enforcement officers given jurisdiction will feel compelled to throw the book at the out-of-towner who shows up for a short stay and inflicts serious injuries on a local resident. If the trial happens, it will be televised. The presiding judge made that ruling early on. That's another reason for the prosecutors to press forward. If all the facts come out one at a time for the world to see, it could do permanent damage to Sanchez's future media prospects. Then again, the damage may be already done, and at this point, it could simply be about doing damage control when it comes to the ultimate consequences for Sanchez, unexpected excursion. Boy, excursions nowadays, people die and get stabbed. I thought, when I was going on an excursion, I was like going out to the movies, maybe skating, fishing, just an excursion. Disney World, a concert. Nowadays, excursions, wow, they just take on a whole different life of its own. Beyond nearly getting him killed, it could get him in prison for multiple years. And I got to tell you something, I am rooting for prison, even though I know he won't get it. I have zero sympathy for Mark Sanchez. Whatever he was doing that night, I am comfortable in saying that he was habitually doing for a long time and got away with it. And maybe that night, whatever he was doing to get high, he might have done a little too much and maybe mixed some stuff, alcohol and some other stuff, and got really crazy, because there is no explanation for you to act the way you acted that night and walking all over the streets, and then you go and attack a 69-year-old man. How impaired must you be to not understand what you are doing? You are attacking an elderly person. Thank the good Lord above, believe it or not, okay, that elderly person was in shape enough to defend himself and fend him off. Because normally that should not happen. Normally, the ex-athlete pretty much does serious damage to that 69-year-old man. And that dude, well, obviously he's still working, the poor guy. That's another thing. Guy was working. I think he was like a grease collector or something. Seriously, this man is still working at 69, which is a crime in itself. Okay? You should be retired at 69. It's pretty sad. Unless he loves to work, man, then those are the only people that I give a break to. But God, if you're 69, you paid your dues, you should be relaxing at home. You shouldn't be out in the middle of the night collecting grease where an ex-athlete that's all high on whatever is attacking you and trying to kill you. Very, very fortunate that that man was able to defend himself. But I have no sympathy for him. I really don't. Not at all. And I hope he does pay the price, because too many people in our system, because you're rich, because you're famous, you end up getting away with a lot of shit. And that's just wrong in every way possible. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. And you can send in your questions, comments, and insults, and we appreciate them immensely. Thank you all out there. Let's do a little music. Why don't we do that? Let's start off with some birthdays, right? Let's find out who was born today on June 3rd from famous people, musicians, athletes, entertainer, politicians. You never know who it is. Sometimes it's even famous religious figures too are on this list. All kinds of people, but we always start off with musicians. And we will start off with Kevin Hearn, keyboardist, guitarist, and accordion player with the Bare Naked Ladies, born in 1969. Band that I actually like, Martin Walsh, bassist with Inspiral Carpets, born in 1968. The great Vince Clarke. Because when you say Vince Clarke and you don't put the great in front of it, it's just, you don't do justice to this man. English synth pop musician and songwriter Vince Clarke with Depeche Mode, of course, and also Yaz and Erasure. Like I said, okay, Depeche Mode, Yaz, and Erasure. Vinny is, Vinny is the man. Vinny Clarke, born in 1960. Mike Corby, keyboardist with the Babies. Of course, he took over for the original keyboardist who left for Journey. Born in 1955, Mike Corby. Neil Clark, guitarist from the British pop band Lloyd Cole and the Commotions. Laura Branigan. Oh, look out. Gloria. And a little Self-Control. Self-Control is a great song. Rest in peace, Laura Branigan. Born in 1952. We lost her in 2004 at the tender age of 52 years old. She was born in 52. She died at 52. Didn't know that. Andy Frazier, English musician with John Mayall's Blues Breakers. He joined at 15 years old. Then he joined Free. He was 16 years old. How about that? And he also co-wrote the song, All Right Now. Baby, it's all right now. Andy Frazier co-wrote that. And he wrote hits for Robert Palmer, including Every Kind of People, Joe Cocker, Shaka Khan, Rod Stewart, Paul Young. Respect, Andy Frazier, born in 52, died of a heart attack in March 16th of 2015 at his home in California. Respect. Let's see who else is celebrating birthdays today. Tom Topham, best known as blues guitarist and being the first lead guitarist of the Yardbirds. He left the band before they achieved mainstream popularity and was replaced by some guy, Eric Clapton. Yeah, that guy. So Topham, born in 47. He died in January of 2023 at the age of 75. Okay, who else is celebrating? Tommy Tedesco, American session guitarist, described by Guitar Player magazine as the most recorded guitarist in recording history. The Beach Boys, the Everly Brothers, the Supremes, the Monkees, the Association, that is. Barbra Streisand, Elvis Presley, Ella Fitzgerald, Frank Zappa, Sam Cooke, Cher, Nancy and Frank Sinatra. He's got some skills. David Lynch from the Platters, born in 1929. These are people that don't F around. All right, let's go with other famous people born on July the 3rd. And we start off with writer Tom Stoppard, born in 1937. Celebrity attorney Gloria Allred, born in 41. She's 85. What an ass kicker that woman is. Writer Dave Barry, born in 47. He's 79. Let's see. Betty Buckley, the actress, born in 47. She's 79. TV personality Montel Williams, born in 56. He's 70. Actor Tom Cruise, born in 62. He's 64. Actor Thomas Gibson, born in 62. He's 64. Actress Connie Nelson, born in 65, 61. Celebrity chef Sandra Lee, born in 66. She's 60. Actress Shawnee Smith, born in 69. She's 57. Actor, musician Audra McDonald, born in 70. She's 56. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange, born in 71. He's 55. Actress Andrea Barber, born in 76. She's 50. Actress Olivia Munn, born in 80. She's 46. Musician Elle King, born in 89. She's 36. Go check out Elle King. She's good, man. Musician Party Next Door in 93, born in 93, is 33. And actress Mia McKenna Bruce, born in 97. She's 29. Those are birthdays on July 3rd. Now let's move over to what happened today in music history. And let's start off in 71, since I'm going to see the Doors live tonight at the Funky Biscuit. In 71 today, Jim Morrison was discovered dead in his bathtub in Paris, France. 10 years later, the surviving Doors conducted a graveside memorial with many fans in attendance. Wow, so today I'm going to go see the Doors alive when Jim died. Okay. In 73, after 182 Ziggy Stardust concert performances, David Bowie announced that he was about to retire from live performing, although it eventually came to light that Ziggy Stardust, the stage persona, was being retired and not Bowie himself. Only his guitarist Mick Ronson knew about the announcement, which came as a complete shock, not only to the audience, but to the rest of Bowie's band and crew. In 85, Back to the Future starring Michael J. Fox as a time-traveling teenager opened in theaters. When Fox's character Marty McFly plays Johnny B. Good in 1955 at Hill Valley High School's Enchantment Under the Sea dance, he purportedly gives birth to rock and roll. For 1985 audiences, the scene provided a new generation with a lesson in Chuck Berry. Hey, man, you got to hear this. In 86, U2 crew member Greg Carroll died at a motorcycle accident in Dublin while running an errand for Bono. The song One Tree Hill on Joshua Tree is dedicated to Carroll. In 95, the members of TLC filed for bankruptcy despite continued success. The group claimed that their money was mismanaged by Perry Pebbles Reed and her production company, Pebetone Inc. Reed denied the claim and said she was trying to get TLC a better deal with their record label, LaFace Records. In 2003, Libertine singer Pete Doherty was arrested after breaking into a band member's Carl Barrett's flat and stealing a laptop and a guitar. He had to have it. In 2009, Florence and the Machine released her debut studio album, Lungs. It features Dog Days Are Over, You've Got the Love, and Rabbit Heart. In 2012, Kiss announced that they were set to release a guitar-sized book containing unseen photographs from their 40-year career. The limited edition, called Monster, would have a $4,299 price tag and 3 feet tall and 2.5 feet wide, and was reported to be the largest music book ever published. And in 2017, singer Tony Hadley said he had left the 80s group Spandau Ballet and would not be performing with them in the future. In an oddly worded statement, he said, "I am required to state that I am no longer a member of the band." He did not indicate why he was leaving, but blamed circumstances beyond my control. And let's see if there were other artists that weren't on the other list for birthdays today. Country singer Johnny Lee, whose 80s song, Looking for Love, is 80 years old today. Is that looking for love in all the wrong places? Looking for love in too many places. Is that Johnny Lee? Is that the one? That was on Urban Cowboy. There we go. If that's the one, by the way. Stephen Percy was not on that list from Rat. He's 67 years old today. I'm glad I always check this. Scott Borchetta of Big Machine Records is 64. And there you go. That's what happened today in Musica history. That way you guys can, rest in peace and be happy, because now you have everything that happened today in music history. I don't want you guys walking around all pissed off that you don't know what happened today in music history and all that. No, don't do that. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. We appreciate you all out there as always. The great Ray Martinez in the house. Thank you, sir, for the love on Venmo. You are a beautiful human being, man. Thank you for your amazing support. And he's got an XRP GIF flying through the air. So, they're allowing some creative GIFs now on Venmo. That's pretty cool, dude. That's pretty cool, because it used to be just like basic stuff. Now they're allowing you to add some pretty cool stuff. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you. He says, you and your beautiful family have a safe 4th of July weekend and keep accumulating. Amen to that, sir. Definitely. We definitely will. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you immensely. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. You can send in your questions, comments, insults, and we appreciate it as always, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There's an interesting list I ran into in I think it was MSN maybe, which they aggregate, and I don't know, it might have come from some other publication or something or whatever, but it was talking about the most overpaid NFL players by position in 2026. And of course, at quarterback, everybody knows it's the same guy for the last few years. Deshaun Watson, obviously, that's been the worst contract in the history of the NFL. He's got $46 million left in cash, 9th highest paid QB in cash, and a fully guaranteed $230 million deal. Watson has missed 32 games due to suspension and injury and is not even a sure starter in 2026. We'll see if it's him or if Sanders ends up starting. Running back, Alvin Kamara with the Saints, $11.5 million left in cash. He's the 9th highest paid running back. Kamara's 30. He missed 13 games over the past 3 seasons and has only scored 1 touchdown last year. That's kind of overpaid. Evan Ingram, the often injured one, then got a deal because he came up with a year and a contract year that he kicked ass. $11.5 million of cash after a Pro Bowl season with 114 catches, like we talked about. Production dropped to 51 catches, and they've got a crowded wide receiver group. So Evan Ingram with a lot of cash and not producing. Dan Moore Jr. for the Titans. He's got $26.3 million cap hit. Despite playing 16 games, his production is far below his salary as for an offensive tackle. So Dan Moore Jr. considered the most overpaid tackle in the game. Grady Jarrett, defensive tackle for the Bears. $18.9 million cap hit. Injuries limited him to 14 games in 2025 with 39 total tackles and 1.5 sacks. So that's a lot of money for Grady Jarrett and not producing. Others are Ramondre Stevenson, the running back for the Patriots. They owe him $9 million in cash, and in some rankings, they have him pretty low in production overall. And Tutu Atwell, current Miami Dolphin wide receiver. Tutu Atwell had a $10 million deal, overpaid wide receiver. That's another guy that's been an issue, right? So I brought it up because I left the last one for the Dolphin Nation out there. Guess who is the most overpaid defensive end out there? It's not a Dolphin anymore. His name is Jalen Phillips, Dolphin fans. For the Carolina Panthers, they owe him $30 million in cash in a 4-year, $120 million deal. Never a Pro Bowler, with injury issues and no seasons with double sacks or tackles for losses. So no double-digit sacks or tackles for losses. And I think you all would have guessed that. So Jalen Phillips goes into this season with the Carolina Panthers as the most overpaid defensive end, which I think we all would agree with that right now. And that was the problem of keeping him, that what kind of a deal was he going to ask for, and then were you going to pay it, because you're still paying on potential. And that was the problem with Jalen. As much as he's a fantastic young man, you're paying him on pure potential because he has yet to actually get it done. So Jalen Phillips goes in with a nice little label for the season. We'll see if he can live up to that label or shed it. Big O, who is your favorite car sponsor? Craig Zinn. Period. That's it. Zinn family. I'd buy a Subaru. I'd buy an Acura. I'd buy a Toyota. I'd buy a Lexus. Anything in the Zinn family is what I am. Oh, have you commented on the Marlins? No. Nobody. I don't care about the Marlins, my brother. Don't really give a shit about the Marlins. Maybe you want to watch the show a couple of days ago, and I explained why there's a rant there or whatever on audio. If you haven't learned about this show, they don't exist on this show. Got it? And the only time any of you mention it, it's when there's a win streak going on. But then before that, you couldn't be found, you were like a needle in a haystack. You know what I mean? You're as phony as a $3 bill, basically. All right, man. We are out of here. We appreciate all of you out there. We did 2 hours, bro. 2 hours, not a lot going on. Pure sports talk. No bullshit. We appreciate all of you out there. We love you all for tuning in. Thank you all out there. Make sure you support our amazing sponsors, as always, who get it done. And without them, we would never, ever survive. So we thank them out there. Make sure you visit our sponsors. And by the way, R&M Contractors, Since Ray was chiming in, if you do need complete remodel, kitchen upgrades, waterproofing, terrace balcony, flood test report, impact windows, door installations here in Dade, Broward, home or condo, reach out to our guy, Ray and Mike. They will get it done. 305-345-3649. We appreciate all of you out there. Have a fantastic weekend, a very safe 4th of July. Much love. Be good.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.